What is up, everybody, and welcome back to a little bit different version of Exit Light. It's week 3 in the football season. We're headed out to ODU this week, just off of a win against Marshall. This time around, it's just me and Ellis. Collin is a little bit sick right now. ZDG has a lot of life to attend to.
He's
Part of
watching
that
his Dolphins
is,
get
yeah,
smoked right now.
I was gonna say a lot of that has to do with Tua turn the ball over playing quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Do you want to give him a little bit of credit though? Junior, or I guess kind of senior year and a half is hard, and just a bunch of life and college stuff going on. So neither of them are with us. Collin has a real reason. ZDG, who knows. But nonetheless, it's me and Ellis this week. Isaac is not here running the magic behind the scenes for us as usual either. He's actually Ellis. I don't know if you know, but he's like PA announcing for Wisconsin soccer. So he's out there.
Oh snap!
Yeah, he used
I
to.
thought it was like some rec league team.
No, he used to. When we were all at Virginia Tech, he used to PA announce like men's and women's soccer. I know women's soccer for sure, softball, and different events. Kind of spread across athletics. But he's a PA announcing for Wisconsin soccer right now, so that's why he's not here. But fortunately for him, he gets to get a whole pile of edits to make after the fact. So,
well, we don't have CDG here, so I mean, how bad can it really be?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
There will be no ZDG cut moments. So, so we're just gonna get on with it. I don't want to.
Before we start, you know who I'm talking to. I was gonna set my room up today. Realized I didn't have my command strips and all my hooks and stuff. So I'm in the prison cell for one more week. You know who I'm talking to.
I mean, I do have to give you credit for the pillows on your bed. At least you have some color.
Hey, I draped my Final Four banner over my bedside table right there.
Just so those are your decorations. That's crazy.
We're working on it.
I do want to say that I think I have you beat, but that's just because I painted my room when I was 9, and I had been home for a year and a half now, and I have not painted it. And truthfully, at this point, I'll probably just end up moving out before I paint it. So,
they're kind of flexing that Kayla signed jersey too.
Yeah, the Kayla signed jersey over my shoulder, and if I turn my computer, you see my VT on my wall. So, yeah. So, I was gonna start off and say a big week for the Hokies getting a win, but I feel like, and it's the same way I felt against Vanderbilt, and I'm hoping I don't feel the same way next week. But I just feel like there's so much left on the table. We should be playing a lot better, but nonetheless, a victory against Marshall at home, first Saturday in Lane, 31-14. I almost called it, Ellis. I don't know if you watched our little fake podcast we did on the drive there, but I called it. I said 38-14, and I thought we were going to score another touchdown, and of course they held the ball for like 8 minutes and didn't score. So
yeah, I was gonna look. Do you have our preseason predictions from the score?
I have them somewhere. Where actually it's the sheet that you made, and I think I have them here somewhere. Oh yeah, I do have them. Yeah, so I had the final score at 38-16 on our predictions. Collin had 41-20. You had 41-13, and Zach DeGrowley had 42-3. So, all of us kind of there, and Marshall scoring 2 times. I think by this I was the closest with 38. Looking back on Vanderbilt, every single person had us smoking Vanderbilt, so none of that really worked out for us either. Yeah, but nonetheless, a win against Marshall. My brain wants to say big win because I feel like that's what we always say. It's just like wins are big, and it's a 1-0. But I think the problems that we saw against Vanderbilt were still the same problems that we saw against Marshall this time around. What did you think, just from like the bird's eye view, like from a distance? What did you see? What did you notice against Marshall?
I mean, obviously, it was our first one of the year. We needed it, get the confidence rolling. I really think the defense did step up, though. I mean, you looked at Vanderbilt They ran all over us. They scored one touchdown, right, Marshall, and it was
Yeah.
off the block punt, or is that what it was?
It was 31-14. They scored once off of a block punt, and they had a
Yeah,
touchdown pass that was a little bit deeper.
yeah,
I
that's
want to
right.
say
Yeah, but the defense, they improved a lot. I got a sneeze coming. I can feel this. It's
word.
bad. Um, the offense. I was trying to think of an analogy to use. It kind of reminds me of a rookie quarterback making his first start. It just looks very simple.
Hmm.
Like it's just a bunch of handoffs, a bunch of short throws, quick screens. Like we have dogs at receiver that we're not using. If Collin was here, I know the first thing he would mention. I think Ali got 0 targets.
He had one target. Kyron missed him by a mile.
Like
No catches, no yards.
that boy is
Didn't
gonna
even didn't even throw him back there on the punt return. Which, granted,
exactly.
there are
Bro.
reasons for that. But no even like rush attempts either. Which
Yeah,
we're gonna get to that because I have some issues. But
yeah.
um,
Like it just looked very simplified. Like we were talking about it at Vanderbilt when we threw crossing patterns or anything downfield, we were open every time against Vanderbilt.
yep.
And so, how do you not watch that film? You see the guys getting open. You don't even call plays for it. Like it was very frustrating to watch from the stands. Like the offense, it started slow. It took the punt return touchdown for us to get on the board, which I thought there was holding on that flag, so I wasn't even excited. But I mean, a win's a win. We needed it. Get the confidence up, and not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous for playing in Norfolk.
Yeah. And granted, I know we're going to talk a little bit about ODU. You know, I don't know if you agree with this, but it almost seems like we're trying to out scheme these teams that we're playing instead of just beat them with the talent that we have. And I feel like Colin and I were saying that on the drive home back from Blacksburg to Chesapeake on Sunday. But it's like they're trying so hard to make the game plan fit into this mold, and they're not using the advantages that we have. And let's be real. We have, we can put three wide receivers on the field at any time that are absolute dogs.
No matter who it
Two,
is.
exactly. It doesn't, like, I mean, they can go down to the people that aren't going to play this year, and we're going to make plays. You have obviously a quarterback that can get the job done, which we're going to get to. I'm going to get to in a second because that has a little bit of an asterisk beside it right now as well. But and then you have Tuden, who is, I mean, Tuden had a really good game against Marshall, over 100 yards. Just a really good game by him. But it's almost just like they were so committed to a game plan and a scheme that Marshall seemed to have our number early, that it just kind of gets us into a rut. And that's what happened against Vanderbilt. Is we were, they were committed to the read option and the pitches and the screen passes, and Vanderbilt had our number. They were ready for it. That we put ourselves in a hole, and Tech did a really good job of fighting back in the second half, getting to the point where they probably had a chance to win the game, should have won the game. But can we imagine what these last two games would have been like if we would have just started loose, and with the way that we played in the second half, just it seems everything's just like so scripted, and like you said, it's just very vanilla and just boring. It's not fun to be a fan watching this Tech play in the first half of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, how many
Um,
downfield shots did we take in the game?
like
Can you
one,
really remember a big
like
one?
one, and Steven Gosnell made a beautiful catch and caught it.
Yeah, like I'm
Um,
looking at the stats. Kyron threw for 130.
yeah,
Like,
and let's not kid ourselves a little bit. That was kind of Tech's mo in the second half of the season last year. But the
yeah,
thing
like
was, they were a lot more successful running the ball. Truthfully, like Tuden was really taking advantage of the opportunities he had on the ground. Boston College, UVA, Tulane. The rushing yards were there. Um, and additionally, Kyron was running the ball a lot more effectively. I don't know if they're. I don't want to say Kyron's not attempting to run the ball. He had a lot of designed runs against Vanderbilt that they were just stopping, but less. I felt like less so against Marshall. Um, but I guess it's kind of going to bring me to my next point. It's just like things aren't working, and I also feel like Kyron's holding the ball a little bit too long, and it's just making everything just so stagnant offensively. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, it looks scripted. I didn't realize we ran it 51 times in that game. I didn't realize it was that much. We ran for, I think it said 208. But Kyron, I think, was 15 of those for like 13 yards. Now,
Yeah,
granted, Zach's going to college as
yeah,
that. But like the read options, they're just either we're not calling them as much or they're just not working or you can't read it. And it seems like a bunch of quarterback powers that just get blown up immediately.
yeah, and a lot of that's because we have no offensive line that can seal the edges. Both of our tackles just seem to be struggling mightily. Um,
And that was our biggest concern going into the season
yeah, and I
is
mean
can they hold up?
we talked about it a lot. I said why. I mean we talked about it during the offseason, like in our text messages. We were not getting the gains we needed on the offensive line. Everywhere else we had improvements, or at least got the people in the depth that we needed, but not the offensive line. And that it seems like it's been evident so far this season, but it's also a little bit perplexing because we're worse. Like we returned the same five starting offensive linemen, but somehow we've regressed. So I don't know if I don't, dude. I couldn't tell you who the offensive line coach is, um, but it's just I don't know if that's a coaching thing, if the players got complacent because they knew they were returning the same five starters, but we're not good there.
Yeah, I can't remember who the coach is because we had that old Wisconsin guy. I remember we
Yeah,
thought that was a
yeah,
huge pickup because Wisconsin dogs.
yeah. He's
And
gone. He went to Notre
yeah, he
Dame,
didn't
right?
work out. I don't remember where he went. I think he was gone before last year, right?
Yeah. Well, he
And
didn't
then
he lasted like halfway through the first
yeah,
season with Pry, I think. He was
okay.
gone pretty early. I think he was like a mid bowl season exodus for him. Like obviously we didn't have a bowl game because we were like 2-20 that season, but
Yeah, not pretty.
um, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about 2022 at all, truthfully. But I feel like we're gonna have to bring at least one game up here in a second, just because it's a redemption opportunity. But you mentioned the defense. Defense definitely stepped up against Marshall. Granted, against a team that was having a little bit of its own offensive woes, going through a kind of a quarterback dilemma. I think
Yeah,
they
they have
had
like two or
three.
three guys that
Yeah,
they've been trying to figure out who's the
yeah,
guy going to be. One of
and
them
they
being what, Chad Pennington's sons?
yeah, Colt Pennington or whatever. And then they ended up starting that's like Stone Earl. They played Stone Earl most of the
Yeah,
game. I honestly couldn't tell you. I struggled to pay attention on Saturday just because the game was boring, truthfully. Like I was just like checked out. And then Tech opened it up really fast, and then it turned into one of those games where you're just talking to people around you. So um, defense stepped up. Defense played well. I thought they did a really good job of stopping the run and containing the quarterback. You've, I guess, Aeneas Peebles and I think was it Kelvin Gilliam that that participated in the press conference this week. But they were saying that they feel like they're half a step away from getting the sacks that they need. And if that when the defensive line can start just churning the way that they did at the end of last season, and they're going to because they're better. I mean the talent is just so much better. Um, Tech's defense is going to start playing a lot better because it's going to give them less time to throw. The defensive line seems to be playing stronger. The secondary with Mose Phillips and Jalen Jones really played a. I think I want to say Mose got cooked on one pass. I think that's the touchdown they scored. And they kind of just got lost in coverage, and dude jumped it behind him for like a little corner route. But other than that, Dorian Mansour played a pretty strong game compared to what he played against Vanderbilt, which, to be fair, isn't hard. But he played tough and he played good. He had a pick. Um, did well. I mean, what are your thoughts on the defense in terms of like going more in depth? I guess.
I mean, like we said, it was really impressive. The pass defense looked like they did last year. I just looked. We gave up 130 yards passing. I think last year it was like we averaged 180-ish or something given up. So they put the clamps on. Delane, definitely big bounce back game. That one Marshall catch. That was insane. Of course,
Yeah,
it was on him, but and then the run defense, we gave up. I think it said 147, but they had like a 60 or 70 yard run really early. So in reality, take out that one play, we gave up like 200 yards. So they really did what we expected them to do, minus all the sacks, which, like you said, they're that close to all that coming together.
yep,
So playing ODU, our defense should be fine. It's the offense and play calling
yeah. I
is what
mean,
worries me.
I think if the defense gets up the way that they played against Marshall, and can limit those big mistakes, because they had that one. I think it was 2 plays in a row. They had the long run down to like the 11-12. He got tripped up. The very next play, they got beaten coverage and for touchdown. So they can eliminate those mistakes. I think Tech's going to be okay. Um, Mansour got put on Sports Center for the wrong reasons. But looking back on that catch, that the only reason it was such a good catch is because it was a misplaced ball by the quarterback. Like Mansour had it played in coverage. The guy was supposed to be going deep, and he just stuck it. Like, I mean, there's nothing you can do about
You
that.
can't play better coverage. Dude just
No.
like went up and grabbed it.
Yeah,
Like
literally, he had
it
a, he
was
had a
it was insane.
yeah. It was number one on Sports Center too.
Was
Like,
it really? I
yeah,
know it popped off
it
and
was
went
number one on
everywhere.
Sports Center, and I mean, I know
Rightfully so.
we were looking at each other from the stands, just like the
Yeah, I
whole
saw. I'm
everybody.
like,
I don't know if you saw like everybody around us, like not just us, but like everybody was just like every person that actually knows sports was like, "Holy, what just happened?"
yeah,
You know.
like it wasn't
Um,
just a luck. That was a
yeah, he
snag.
stuck it
It was
opposite hand, and
yeah.
um, I don't want to say it was over Mansour because the ball was so behind where it should have been that Mansour was playing him like deeper, but Mansour tried to stop and he ended up getting he got a little broed, unfortunately. But that doesn't matter because Tech got the win. Mansour played a great game. Um, he a very very important bounce back game for him in terms of his confidence and playing like the Delane that we expected him to play.
Yeah, we
You
know
know,
he's a dog.
yeah,
We know
yep,
what he's bringing.
yep.
So it was good to see
It's just
that.
saying like at Vanderbilt, it was. I mean, we were frustrated because it was just like you could tell like it was not his day, but it was just surprising as well because we did not expect that to be like that. But non-conference is non-conference. It don't matter, especially against a Vanderbilt team that I feel like is without a doubt better than they were uh, last
They're
year.
one of those teams that if you take away the name Vanderbilt, I think you look at them as someone who can upset a
Yeah,
mid-tier SEC team,
for
like a
sure.
Missouri type team.
I
If
mean,
you
for
don't
sure they
say
are.
that's Vanderbilt and you just give them that team and the way that quarterback
That's what
can
I'm
run,
saying. It's like you think about it, they very well could be better than South Carolina. Like,
better than Kentucky probably.
yeah, I mean, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Kentucky in a second too. So,
Screw
um,
Kentucky. We know
I
why.
hate I hate the FKB or whatever it's. I don't even remember. Um, um, special teams, second week in a row, I've had a massive miscue on special teams. Stu Holt needs to get it together. Granted, the first one's a personnel issue and just an absolute just goofball move to put two number zeros on the field at the same time. But a block punt against Marshall that set them up for a touchdown.
Can we
Um,
talk about that 2 number 0 for a second? I never got a chance to
please,
express my anger about this.
please.
So here's my problem is you have the whole off season to figure out who's on the field. Bye, buddy. So you've had the whole off season to plan personnel, plan your gunners, plan your blockers, and plan for situations where when your number one guy's not on the field, what do you do? And when Jalen Lane was not on the field, it should be embedded in whichever one of their minds, whether it's Ali or Kelly, to go change your jersey and put on that no-name jersey. That should have been stressed and gone over multiple times. So how does that happen? Like, I don't understand how that happens. You have the whole offseason. You have a dog, and you know he's going to be on the field. Kelly's been on the field for kickoffs, I think, his whole career at Tech. So not only on the players, on the coaches as well. And that's just boneheaded. It's stupid. I never want to see it happen again. And it's one of those plays that you see happen in games like a couple times a year, and you're like, how does this happen? And of course, why would it not happen to us, right?
I mean, that's like Murphy's law for Virginia Tech. If it's gonna happen,
That's
it's gonna
Virginia
happen to
Tech.
Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a, it's like me and Collin's like our NASCAR driver. Like every single year, he's never won a championship. He's one of the best drivers in NASCAR history by wins. Every single year, he finds a new way to have something go wrong to knock him out. Every single year, it's the same with Tech. It's if it look, we're you know baseball team, in 21 or 21, right? Baseball teams going off, we run into a buzzsaw against Oklahoma. Same thing. Florida, same thing in softball, right? Men's
Same
basketball
here.
team, but same like 2 days. It was like a week apart, dude. Men's basketball team wins the ACC tournament, and we get a weird draw, and then we play Texas. Texas has its best shooting night in like program history, and beats us on threes. Uh, where we have a women's basketball team that has a chance to potentially win a national championship, is a top three team in the country, and we have an ACL on a fluke play, and
And
then our then
and
our then our
the year
what?
before, when we are in the Final Four, freaking Ice Spice shoots the
Yeah,
best she's ever played in her
yeah,
life.
yep. Nice,
5 of 5.
nice. That's crazy.
Didn't she have red hair?
That's crazy. Uh, that's insane. And, then our whole team leaves, our whole coaching staff leaves, and it's just what's new. It's that's Virginia Tech. That's Virginia Tech sports in a nutshell. You know.
So I can't wait to
Uh,
see what happens this year for football.
yeah.
Like other than
Yeah.
this, because this is
Oh,
just
yeah.
the start. You know, something else stupid's gonna happen.
I mean, look. Hey, maybe. Maybe that's all I gotta say. Maybe I don't have. I'm used to it. I painted my room maroon and orange, and I basically live knowing that we're never gonna be happy again. So, um,
I just want one natty. Like, come on.
yeah, dude.
Just one natty in my lifetime,
Dude,
please.
dude, you know what's gonna It's gonna be crazy. Is like that national championship someday is gonna come, and it's gonna be like in a sport where like it's gonna be like a non. It's like not basketball, not baseball, not football, and people are gonna go nuts here. Like it's not gonna matter. Like it's gonna be so hype. Trying to wrap up Marshall. Overall, I think we played a pretty solid game. We definitely, I think even the coaching staff knows that they have to start hotter, and I can imagine that they're going to be a little bit more fluid to start the game against ODU. Partially because they've played 2 games and they've seen where that's coming from, but also because they know they have to get out to a hot start in Norfolk. Um, Defense, a lot of improvements from week 1 to week 2. I would say, I mean, inarguably they played, they were the best phase of the ball last Saturday against Marshall. Um, Special teams just have to get. Hold on, I'll back up. Special teams had a miscue. We talked a little bit about the block punt. Is a stupid play because we left like a receiver, a person. You know what I'm saying? It's like the Gunners. Somebody was uncovered and they just did not cover him, and he just came in untouched and blocked. Just easy. Like he went in motion, and then like it was so stupid. They just didn't prepare for it. Um, but in terms of good, Jalen Lane returned a punt. You talked about that earlier. I was thinking about the same thing earlier, that it's like you didn't celebrate because we saw the flags everywhere, and I was convinced. I was like, just back up, just keep going, just don't
Yeah,
just go
like
back to where it was.
I'm getting excited, and then it's
Yeah,
the last guy right there, and I see the
yeah,
flag, and I'm sitting,
yep. And
I'm
then they ended
upset.
up calling both penalties on Marshall, and then the
Yeah,
place it got like half a cheer. So, um, just gotta clean up the damn mistakes.
yeah,
Um,
it's just stupid stuff. That
did Tech have a turnover, an offensive turnover? I don't think they had a turnover against Marshall.
not that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't think so. Played a pretty good game. Just need to keep that, and then just play a little bit more loose, and then just mix it up, and just not play such a vanilla form of offense, and then I think we're gonna be
Open up the
fine.
playbook, like
Yeah,
not
dude.
big, but
Like
just throw it downfield.
it's crazy. The best game that we played all last season was Syracuse, because the defense was playing
I
the
don't
way that they
remember that
were.
game.
I know you don't, but um, it's just that they were being a little bit more um, creative with their thing, and then Virginia too. Like, I remember they were throwing reverses to Tucker Holloway, like I mean, and yeah, just gotta be more creative and have better plays, and gotta get Benji gotta get Benji involved, because the tight ends really do the difference for Virginia Tech. But let's move on to ODU. What it seems to be like like a Virginia Tech football fan's house of horrors, just talking about Norfolk. This is the first time that I won't be there. So
Really,
at a game in Norfolk, yeah,
that's a good thing.
I'm going to
Yeah,
Jerry's bachelor trip in Ocean City, Maryland.
let's go, Jerry.
So I'm getting the hell out of here, away from Virginia Tech. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, dude, it's like the first Tech football game that I haven't watched on TV in like a long time, or or been at in a long time. The first time I've watched it on TV in a while, because I've just been going to so many games straight. Last season, and then the bowl game, and then two this week, and then yeah. But nonetheless, see, the it's easy to say, like, I wonder if you agree with me. It's easy to say, like, we just got to beat the shit out of ODU, because um, because of the history, I guess. But it's almost like it doesn't freaking matter unless you lay like 70 on them, because it's like, if in the past when they win, it's like, we just beat Virginia Tech. Y'all suck. You're not supposed to be the best football school in the state. And our little like 10-year-old program just beat you for the second time. If we beat them 31-17, it's like, congratulations, you just beat a group of five school. Whoop de doo.
yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
like you should be beating us. It doesn't matter. Like, unless you go and win by 60, dude, it doesn't matter. And that's what they need to go out and do. They need to say, like F this stupid ass school in Norfolk, like, taking our players and thinking they're hot shit. Let's just go beat their ass.
Yeah,
I mean,
like you know how many, like 757 massive recruiting area. We've said this a bunch. We got to go in there and we got to take over that area and show them. Don't go to ODU. Like it's a terrible school. Come on now.
don't get me
Like
started on 757 recruiting, dude.
yeah, which our coaches are there right now.
Yeah,
What they do,
but
but
and they should be.
yeah, you got to go whoop them.
Dude, dude, in NCAA, they have instead of the pipeline being Virginia, it literally says Tidewater, because of
Yeah,
how talent heavy our area is.
yeah.
Like, it pisses me off to no belief that our coaches did not go to Oscar Smith in like 6 years when Fuente was here. And
Oscar
I
Smith,
know
Maury, all
I know
those.
you know this, because you live in our area, but Oscar Smith is like one of like the top 4 high school programs in Virginia. By far the best in terms of like where I live and where Ellis lives in Collin. But among the teams that are you going to the state championships and pouring out talent, Coastal Carolina starting quarterback went to Oscar Smith. Deshaun McCleese. I'm trying to think of like other players, but you know what I'm saying. Sherrod Coval, who plays for Clemson.
Yes, sir.
There are a bunch of damn good football players that went through Oscar Smith. Philip Sims played at Alabama, was number 1 recruit. Josh Sweat plays for the Philadelphia Eagles, played for Oscar Smith. Um, I don't remember Cameron Kelly, the dude that bounced around. He played
He's
for Oscar
transferred like
Smith.
6 times, right?
Yeah, he played for a different school. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure if he could have played for 3 in a season. But
Oh yeah.
just
Is it what?
so
UVA,
frustrating.
UNC,
Yeah,
all these.
Auburn.
Auburn. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Went to so. It doesn't. But the fact that we
It's
didn't
like it
go to so
reminds
many
me of
schools.
Grimes, the old
Yeah,
UNC guy. Yeah.
yeah, and like Armani Chapman. You remember, like, Armani transferred from here,
I
went to
kind of liked
UNC
him.
and UVA. Shut up.
Oh wait, you went to UVA?
Yeah, he went
Me
to
too.
UVA and then ended up at UNC. He didn't play at
I remember
UVA
he
at
went
all.
to UNC.
Yeah, he committed to UVA and then UNC offered. And he's like, screw that, I'm not going to that stupid ass school. I'm going to I'm going
Yeah,
to UNC, which whatever. And
understandable.
then
Yeah.
he didn't play, and then he's working at McDonald's or something. I don't know.
Parker Clements, shout out. That's your future job.
DJU, also a shout out.
DJ Oogly Boogly, you're
DJ
trash. Go be
Ugly.
a used car salesman.
DJ, you need a job. Indeed is calling.
I got a personal hate for DJ.
We are so off the rails right now. This is crazy. Point being, what Ellis was saying is that this is a massive recruiting weekend for Virginia Tech in terms of just showing everybody who runs the damn 757. It's not ODU. It's not Norfolk State. It's not William & Mary. It's not the University of Virginia, Richmond, Penn State, UNC. It's the damn orange and maroon, and you got to go put up 70 on them.
You
And
get South Carolina out of
I
here too.
hope,
They've been way too close.
dude, Shane
Freaking
Beamer
Beamer, come
pisses me
on.
off.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I don't even know if I want Shane because he's struggling at
Nah.
USC, but nonetheless, Tyler Bowe needs to get together and go out there and put 65 on them, and then Coach Marvin, Coach Pry need to make sure these damn defense are putting Grant Wilson, if he plays, don't know if you saw that, he's hurt. But they need to put their quarterback in the ground. Yeah, he hurt his wrist on like the next to last play last week against ECU.
Because I was looking at their stats right now. He's throwing for a whopping 389 yards.
Well, don't want to talk about it. Kyron had 130 against Marshall. So,
yeah, but they really don't have a running game either.
Yeah, I mean, look, yeah. So, overall, I know that's your boy. First order of business is just winning this game and beating them the way they deserve to be beat.
Is we want to go out there and we want to smoke him, but due to the past 2 times we played him there, like we just want to come out of there with a win. But we should be beating them by 50.
It's exactly what I'm trying to say too. It's like based on the history, it will be a massive sigh of relief to go into Norfolk and just win the game. But it doesn't really do anything if we're going and winning that game by 10. You know, because we're supposed to beat them by more than that. Like if we were the team that people thought we were going to be, we should beat them by 50. Like, let's be real. They are not better than Virginia.
We should beat them like 59-7 or something.
Exactly.
Like, theoretically,
we should have some like ugly score.
There's going to be some garbage time touchdown there.
Yeah, it's just so.
Like, come on now. Parker Clemens will transfer to D-line and get cooked. Like,
we're going to break down this game just because it's, I think maybe we're not, because we already talked about what we need to fix for Marshall, but it's almost like this is why you don't play games against group of 5 teams on the road.
Dude, I was going to get into that point.
Because they turn into such
I have a vendetta for
that. They're such massive trap games that, and like we just said, it's a lose-lose situation for us, because either we don't come out and we lose to ODU for the 3rd time, or we squeak away a win and we don't beat them the way that we should, and everybody's like, well, Virginia Tech sucks. They could only beat ODU by 10. You know?
I'm looking right now at the games this week to give a comparison of how stupid. I mentioned it. I remember we recorded over the summer, and I mentioned how stupid it is. It's like, how as an athletic director can you sit down with a straight face and say, I want to go play at Old Dominion? That is just, like, I get the recruiting aspect of it, but it's outright stupid. It's kind of like irresponsible as an athletic director, because you're putting yourself in this situation where if you're to lose, which happened the last 2 times, it's just so dumb. So the only thing I can like kind of compare here, you got Vanderbilt, SEC team, going to play at Georgia State, which that's weird because it's a 10.5 point spread. Georgia State hasn't been bad in the past. They've gone to a bowl game a lot recently.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then you have pretty much same situation as us, Oklahoma State going to Tulsa. Those are the only 2 like comparisons. But Vanderbilt's SEC, so they can do whatever they want. They're going to dominate whoever they play.
Yeah.
And then Oklahoma State's ranked like 13th.
Yeah.
But it's just
so are these the only 2 Power 4 teams that are going to group of 5 opponents? Is that what you're saying?
There was Cincinnati was playing Miami of Ohio.
That's ridiculous.
But it's so stupid to put yourself in this spot where you're going to be embarrassed, which we've sat and had to take it 2 times.
Yep.
Where if you don't smoke them or win,
we haven't won.
You're embarrassed. I remember, what was it, 2019, 18? Josh Jackson? He was 2018, right?
Yep.
Our offense was crazy that year. And he breaks his leg in the game, and then was that the game Ryan Willis came into?
Yeah.
That guy's.
Well, you know what's funny is that year the offense was so good that even Ryan Willis could have had a good season, and Willis
made the offense.
Let's be real. Ryan Willis wasn't awesome. He was not good, but he had a decent like Brendan Motley-esque season in
Hey, he played in
2018 because the offense was so decent. They were really good. They had a lot of weapons.
didn't he go on to play in the CFL and like won a championship or something?
I don't know what he did, but
He played in the Canadian League and he was
I think
like
it was the
actually
Canadian
good.
League.
Is
Because
that
he
not
was a good
CFL?
quarterback, and he was mobile in weird ways. He was like one of those. He was like Schlee, dude. Like
I
decently
feel
tall,
I don't know if I'd compare him to
decently
that. I feel
tall,
like Schlee
fast.
is
I
like
mean,
runner guy.
yeah. I mean, granted, we saw him play like 3 plays, and then he threw one to Narnia. But um,
Yo, that's such a bad like spot for him
I
to
know,
kick
yeah,
for
I
the
know,
game.
I know.
Like,
We're not a single soul is in here blaming Collin
yeah,
Schlee for
that's his
losing to
first throw
Vanderbilt.
of the game. He's not expecting to
I'm
get
blaming
it.
Tyler
He's
Bowen for
amped
putting
up.
Kyron in
Like
for one play and then running him up the middle on a hurt calf.
you have a guy who I guess was cramping,
Yeah,
and you want to run him up the middle as your quarterback
yeah,
when
yep,
you have a mobile backup quarterback
yep.
or a stud running back who's going to get drafted. Like,
Yeah, absolutely
there's so many
bogus.
things to complain about right now, and I'm just not having it right
It's so funny how we're just going back and forth about the funniest things. We're talking about Ryan Willis. Ryan Willis came into that game in 2018 after Josh broke his ankle, and that was really the turning point for the game. The we couldn't pull away against ODU the first time, and then once Josh got hurt, I think Trayvon Hill had like a mini fight on the sideline or something like that, and then
now.
defense
Trayvon
melted.
Hill.
Well,
He
dude,
got
no,
he
he
got
got
cut after
cut
that game,
after
didn't
that
he?
game. Yes, he was kicked off the team after that game
And then where did he
because
transfer
they
to?
got Miami used down. They had a fight after the game. I don't
We
really
had
remember
so
what
many
happened,
problems
dude.
because of
Well,
that game.
that's when the culture, which we realized the culture had issues, is that game. That game was the program killer for real.
You had
It
a
started
what?
the
Nuke
downhill.
Reynolds, I think was his name. He also got kicked off the team around
Yeah,
there.
I
Like
think so. Um,
those were guys that were pretty good.
they were good. If you remember the
Hill
twenty,
was he
if
was
you
in
remember
line to
the
get drafted.
if you remember the 2016 season when Tech
Was that the
and
Edmonds? We went to Clemson
yeah,
and
yeah,
lost in the
in the ACC title when we had a
by
shot
one
to win that
possession.
game too. Yeah, we
Yeah.
we, we, we had the ball in like the 20 or something like that, like the 35, and they threw a pick. Um,
Sometimes I think about what would happen if Gerard Evans came back one more year.
yeah, I mean, we're just
Yeah.
taking steps backwards and backwards and backwards right now. Like I said, it's always some BS that hurts Virginia
Yeah.
Tech, and then you just think about what could have been. Yeah,
Shout out
but
that bowl game in 16 though. I was at that one, the Belk Bowl, down
down
24
24-0,
nothing,
win the
win
game.
35
Hey, you
24.
want to go ahead and talk about 15, 14, or 13 too? You're gonna talk about Ohio State? Like, come on. Since we're going backwards, keep taking steps.
Dude, I remember I had school the next day.
Dude,
The
do you
day that
remember
we
that
beat Ohio
MJ
State.
jumper?
Can we go back and I can't think about MJ right now.
shout out Pat
Going to that
Wessler.
conversation we had
Shout
today.
out Pat Wessler, dude. Future
Big Pat.
podcast guest, Pat Wessler.
Love that guy.
Uh, um, oh man, yeah. So I mean, it's a tough history against ODU because I don't know if it's probably been it's like amongst the worst moments in Virginia Tech football history. Um,
Even
just
what 2 years ago we played him in basketball. Chauncey kept it close against
dude,
us.
I thought we were gonna lose to them in basketball, and
Yeah,
it was close. I'm pretty sure they had like a chance to win it late, or at least
yeah,
tie it late. And
it
I was
was
just like,
close.
please do not do this, Virginia Tech. And we ended up being like, I mean, granted, we were a lot better that season than them. They've been awful recently in basketball. But I was like, please, dude, don't do this. Like, don't do this to me.
And it was bad because Chauncey went to Minchville, my high school, and
Yeah,
he was just tearing us up. And I was like, dude, this. Now he's at
yeah,
Seton Hall after being at Wichita before ODU. He's a
yeah,
dog. Shout out to him.
yeah.
Gotta throw in
Um,
hometown, baby.
yeah. Me too. Is we had a chance to win that tournament because we played ODU to open, and I think we beat Penn State. Um,
Yeah.
and we were I
Wait.
didn't say it was a house of horrors for Virginia Tech basketball. And then we lost to Charleston because Charleston was good, and they played on a um oh
That wasn't the same year as Charleston.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
it
It
was a
was.
Charleston
I
class.
was thinking the one. I was thinking when we played at Charleston in 2019 because I was watching that in
Yeah,
my
we
history
beat.
class.
That's when we beat Purdue in the finals, and we were really good.
Yeah, Carson
That was
Edwards.
2018, 2019.
Yeah. What's up, Isaac?
Uh, For those who can't, I mean, you'll get some stuff, but Isaac's here. Isaac's on his phone. We're in the middle of the funniest podcast we've recorded because we're just talking in circles. But Isaac
We
shows
were
up on his
talking about
phone.
ODU. Now somehow we're talking about 2019 basketball against Carson Edwards.
It's
So
just absolutely fantastic. I guess so. Talked about keys to the game for ODU. Need to start hot. Need to play good offense. Have to not be vanilla. Um,
don't let
deep,
Bryce Duke have a
dude,
revenge game.
that sounds like Virginia Tech in a nutshell too, though.
Yeah.
We're
Like, honestly, a guy that used to be at your school comes back and he
you're
pops
kind of
off.
you're kind of scaring me with all this, dude. It's like dude, it's like Braxton Miller against Tech with Ohio State. Dude has an
Spin
awful
move.
season. What was he suspended or was he hurt the year before? Oh, he was hurt.
He
He
was
got hurt.
Yeah.
He got hurt. That's why JT Barrett played, and then JT Barrett got hurt late, and Cardale Jones went
Cardale
to
Jones.
the finals.
Big self,
I
fat
didn't come
dude.
here to play
I hated
school.
it. Casually threw for like 400 in the playoffs.
Yeah, dude, I was just like, oh my god. And then he comes back, has a redemption game against Virginia Tech, and puts us on a highlight reel for the rest of existence. Sounds like,
Yeah.
yeah. Just you can't let ODU beat you. Can't have to limit the mistakes. 2022, dude, we shouldn't have lost that game either way. Anyways, we were a fumbled snap for a touchdown away from winning that game, and also Grant Wells threw 4 picks. Grant Wells threw 4 picks. We had a fumble loss, I think. Couldn't score. Should have absolutely smoked him, but we didn't because we gave it to him. Ollie, and then freaking Grant
Ollie had 2 tutties.
they didn't even have a quarterback. They had like that LaRussa guy, right? No, that was 2020 or 2020, 2018. They had like LaRussa guy.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the quarterback was against.
It wasn't Grant W because that was last year.
Yeah, because he started
the
for
Grant W versus Grant W matchup.
They both suck.
Elite.
Yeah. Besides the point, but just can't let them beat you. Defensively,
go out there, respectfully kick some ass and come back with a dub. Gobble gobble.
God, this is insane. Yeah, and I mean I don't know. It comes down to taking the training wheels off, not making mistakes, and then playing like the team you're supposed to be. You got to get there now.
Let those wide receivers dominate.
Yeah, you got to let dude. Kid, let's be so real right now. You talk about Bryce Duke revenge game. Let's bring Ollie in this thing.
Honestly,
some revenge.
And first play, get on the ball.
That dude, Ollie Jennings, first play. You should run some level concept and let him double move right up the middle.
He had 2 tutties last year, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he had 2 against. Yeah. I forgot he played against ODU. He had 2 against ODU. Should have probably had 4. Grant missed him twice. Then he got hurt on the next play.
Yeah, no, next game.
It was the second play of the Purdue game.
I zoned out for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, second play of the Purdue game. He was broken ankle, done for the season. Yeah, on like a 30-yard Jalen Lane carry too, or a Jalen Lane catch.
So that's the text. We were talking about it earlier.
Something's going to happen.
Your teammate's going to break your ankle.
Teammate breaks your ankle, and then the world drops out from under you, and the lightning striking the scoreboard and stuff. So, yep.
I forgot about that.
Can't let ODU beat them. And Isaac, I don't know if you're hearing this, but I was saying that you have to, in order for this to be a win for Virginia Tech, it's not just win the game; it's you have to win by 60.
Respectfully,
you have to win by 60. That's it.
It was so bad, bro. CDG's in shambles right now. ZDG, if you come back and watch this, Tua just threw it to the defense for a pick 6.
Tua turned the ball over.
Tua turned the ball over. Is down 31-10. CDG.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so glad you're missing this recording to watch this game, buddy.
That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm so glad.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm going against the Bills defense in fantasy.
You could have had a better time just being here. with us.
Yeah,
Truthfully,
honestly, like he's gonna be
okay.
playing Juice World later
All
tonight, just in his feels.
right, Ellis. Let's kick this
Ready to
off
move
with
on to
some.
picks and all
Let's kick
this.
this off with
Actually,
some picks,
lock in.
man. Yeah. So look, we've already beat ZDG and Collin because they didn't show up. And also ZDG's a Dolphins fan, so he's already lost.
Yeah,
He's lost before the week even got started. So, um, Isaac, you're driving, so I get to do this, and I'm happy about doing this. So, um,
let's go.
so the first one that we got is
Is this Isaac's game, or are we waiting for later for that one?
um,
Oh, Isaac, congrats on getting those tickets, by the way. That's exciting.
oh, dude, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Going to Alabama and Wisconsin for free, dude. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's insane.
That's ridiculous. Get to see Jalen Milrow and Tyler Van
Dominate.
Dyke. What a QB battle.
Tyler Van.
You can't say that. Kicking us off. So a first Big 12 game for these two teams. Big 12 matchup on a Friday night. Number 20 Arizona versus number 14 Kansas State.
I love this matchup. I used to always hate Arizona because I'd always just pull for Oregon. So they always had those battles. Arizona's wide receiver is a freaking dog.
Oh, dude.
Ted
He had
McMillan.
four
When we were in
touchdowns.
Nashville, he had 10 catches for 300 something yards
Yeah.
and 3 or 4 tutties. That
Yeah.
guy's a dog. Their quarterback stayed when their coach left. Both of them had massive NIL deals.
Yeah.
Kansas State's got this new quarterback. I don't know if he's still got the luscious locks that he had last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's at Kansas State, right?
Dude, yeah.
I don't think Arizona's shown the defense enough to be able to win this game. I think it's pretty high scoring, but I think Kansas State's going to come out on top solely because they're at home on a Friday night.
Well, I think.
But I love Ted McMillan. I think he's going to pop off again.
So,
Future Raven.
typical Big 12 defense, you have Arizona with the 107th ranked defense and Kansas State with the 122nd ranked defense. There will be no defenders on the field. And because of that, Arizona is going to win because they have the 28th ranked offense in the country with obviously the quarterback and the wide receiver combo that you just mentioned. So I'll go ahead and split with you on that. I think Arizona is actually going to be the best team in the Big 12 this year.
Dude, no one was talking about them. It was always let's talk about Utah. Let's talk about Oklahoma State. I've always been Arizona.
Conference championship game is going to be Utah and Arizona.
The Pac-12, yeah.
Shout
out to Pac-12, by the way. Adding 4 members.
Yeah, it's
they're not dead.
They are the state conference now because they're all 4 states.
You know, we've just been going back and forth with topics. I saw a notification today.
Did you hear about Florida State's blue jerseys?
No, for real. I saw Stanford and Cal would consider going back to the Pac-12. I saw a notification today. That's insane to me.
Do it and make them pay.
Honestly, do it.
Make them pay us to do it. That'd be funny. It's like indentured servitude, but for conference realignment. Like
it says, Cal Stanford linked to Pac-12. ACC schools could be open to joining conference if a window opens to leave. Now we know how the ACC is with teams leaving, but honestly, get them out of here. There's no use keeping them.
Well,
sorry to break that up.
It's funny though, if they let them go, doesn't that just open up a legal window for Florida State?
That's what I'm saying. Florida State and Clemson would be able to leave too.
Yeah,
probably, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
There's got to be something in the contract for teams that just joined to say you can't leave immediately.
Bro, I feel like we're just like drunk on this podcast, just talking, like just the absolute
random Thursday night.
All right, let's move on to the next one. I'm gonna save Isaac's game for a second. This one's going to be, I believe this is where College Game Day is going. But it's the number 16 LSU Tigers versus the South Carolina Gamecocks. 12 o'clock on Saturday.
I got a big problem on why this is College Game Day.
Me too.
Like, I mean, you look at the schedule, there's nothing like, no crazy games. I know Isaac wanted his Bama-Wisconsin game to be game day, which honestly, on paper, it's probably the game that should have been. But, like, you have other underrated games, which I think we'll probably pick one here soon. I don't know why it's game day. South Carolina, you know my hatred for them. They suck. Sellers at quarterback should be doing his Calculus 2 homework with his nerdy goggles. I hate LSU, but they come in and they smoke Shane Beamer.
I have a personal hatred for South Carolina this year, mostly because we spent so much time watching that dumb game when we could have been drinking in Nashville, and
They
it was
should
just
have
like,
lost to ODU.
yeah, but we also should have just watched that game from the top of a bar instead of watching that game in our apartment building. But nonetheless, I agree with you. LSU is going to smoke them. LSU is going to be one of those Brian Kelly teams that has a dumb early season loss, and they're going to be right on the fringe of being good next year, or at the end of
A
the end
nice
of the
like
year.
8-4, nine and
Um,
three team. My
yeah, yeah,
perspective, just I hate
yeah,
them.
yep. This time the what's it called will not save them. The divisions won't save them this go around. But nonetheless, I agree with you. LSU wins that game. We'll move on to maybe a fun one that you were thinking of. Maybe this would have been my pick for game day if I would have had it my way, but ACC SEC matchup: number 24 Boston College versus number 6 Missouri.
That's not the one I was implying, but I think that is a location. When's the last time Missouri had game day? Like it had to be,
Dude, it probably was like Kansas Missouri games back in the
yeah, like
day. Like,
back in what 90s, 2000s, whenever
mhm.
both of them.
Oh
So
my god. South Alabama's beating Northwestern State 73-10. It's only the third quarter. I hope they put up 100. Do it.
yeah, I just saw your chat. uh, BC, I like them this year. I like their quarterback. I think their running back. I couldn't tell you his name, but some with a C. I think he was good. Missouri is one of those teams that they're not being talked about enough. I feel like they were in that New Year's Six bowl game last year against Arizona. I can't remember who came out on top. I thought it was Arizona, but I was I was on a Discord call with Big Pat the other day, and in our football league, Missouri's his team. Luther Burden is just too good. I think he's going to go off against BC. Wrapping back up, I think Luther Burden's going to pop off, and I think they. What's the spread? Do you know it?
Give me a second.
Probably like 10.5 to 13.5 around there. I
Uh,
think they
Missouri
covered
is
two
Missouri's favored
tutties
by
at least.
16.
16, yeah, at least two tutties. I think
Yeah.
they went.
Well, this is where we're gonna get a barometric read on how good the ACC really is if Boston College can keep this close. Um, I don't think Boston College is as good as 24th in the country, unfortunately.
No, those rankings: Nebraska, BC, Northern
Yeah,
Illinois.
yeah. Well, I think Nebraska's actually a lot better than
I think they are.
I think they deserve that spot. Northern Illinois got a typical Notre Dame choke.
Yeah.
Um, that's like the yearly Notre Dame getting upset for no reason. Um, besides the point, Boston. I don't think Boston College is ranked 24th, but I will be hoping that they pull this one out for the sake of the ACC. Turn a Thursday night game into a big one for Virginia Tech. That would be fun. Um,
I think the problem is Missouri is very good, and people aren't
yeah,
talking about it.
they are that good,
So
and
I think
people.
they are going to blow them out, and people are just going to go back to disrespecting the ACC.
Yeah,
But
100%. It's like that's another like it's another like kind of low stakes matchup for Missouri because they're gonna win, and if they win, just like you said, it's gonna be anti ACC, not how good Missouri is.
is this an old rivalry game too?
Boston College
Was
and Missouri?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. I feel like
It
that
feels
was one of those
it
where
feels like a very like weird like niche matchup in a way.
yeah,
Like it feels random where they had to have a reason to schedule it, but I think it's just I think it's just because Missouri was not great a couple of seasons ago and they kind of came out of nowhere. So
yeah.
they scheduled that game. Um, all right, moving on to one or two more, and then Virginia Tech. The backyard brawl, which is the absolute best, the best. What's it called? Name for a game in college football. Period. But it's Pitt in West Virginia, and I want to say this game's at.
I think it's at Pitt.
This game is at Pittsburgh this year, so that means it's going to be
Yeah.
sold out, but 100% West Virginia fans. So
Yeah.
um,
So
West Virginia's favored by a point and a half.
I can't lie. I haven't watched Pitt this year.
Me
I'm
neither.
pretty sure they're starting a freshman at quarterback who's done well. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Pitt is 2-0 with a win against
They
they
beat
beat Penn State by
Cincinnati.
30 and they beat Cincinnati by 1
Yeah,
at
their
Cincinnati.
quarterback's done for 635 in 2 games.
Word.
So I mean, Pitt was one of those teams that I thought was gonna suck going into the year, and I think I'm gonna stand by that. And they're gonna get like their between 4 and 6 wins. West Virginia was another one of those Big 12 teams that everyone, I guess primarily Pat McAfee, but a lot of people were kind of talking highly about. I think they show why they were talked high about this week, and they get it done.
Yep. I um yeah, I think West Virginia is going to win this game. Um yeah, I mean, this has been one of the best rivalries in college football for the past couple seasons. It's been it is highly it's like hostile in a good way. Like people, it's just what it's the hate you want to see in college football. I
It's
think West
pure
Virginia.
hatred.
I really thought West Virginia was going to beat Penn State week 1 or week 2. I guess it was week 1, but uh, West Virginia is going to win this game. It's going to be a lot closer than I think. They're going to cover obviously because they're not going to win. I mean, it might be a point, but I think West Virginia wins by 3 or 4. But besides the point, West Virginia is going to have. This is where
Is
West Virginia is going to start their season.
Donovan McMillan
Yeah,
was he's at Pitt. I think he's actually having a really good season. I think that's all he has been popping off last
yeah,
year. Old hokey target. I wanted him so bad.
yeah.
That's not the point.
Okay, Isaac, this is the game. Um, Big noon kickoff, 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. Stupid Central Time. The number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide taking a trip all the way up north to Camp Randall Stadium, getting ready to jump around, playing Isaac's Wisconsin Badgers. Um, Ellis, what do you think?
There's a reason this game wasn't college game day, and it's because Wisconsin doesn't keep this close. I get Wisconsin has that. I There's a bunch of stadiums that I want to experience a game at one point in my life. Wisconsin, one of those stadiums, because the atmosphere just seems insane. Tyler Van Dyke's your quarterback. Like, come on now. We saw him at Miami. He couldn't get it done. So back to the point. Tyler Van Dyke's the quarterback. What's the spread on this, Jackson?
Let me look.
Like, really?
Alabama's favored by 16 on the road.
Is Ches Malusi still the running back at Wisconsin? Shout out to Clemson Tiger. Alabama wins by like 24.
Yeah, unfortunately, in terms of your game day atmosphere whole thing, those people are not making it to jump around. Um, they are not that place will be looking like a COVID stadium by the fourth quarter because Alabama is going to smoke them. Um, I think they win by more than 20, unfortunately, Isaac. And that's not because I'm hating on Wisconsin. I don't got anything against the good old Badgers. But Alabama's just they found what they needed to find against at the second half against USF, and they're going to smoke Alabama. I hope since you're going, you'll probably be one of those few COVID crowd people. You might be able to scoot down to the bottom of the stadium at that point and get like first row seats. So um, said you might even be able to rush the field, and the security will probably have left already too. So
Is the next game you're gonna do Tech, or do you have one more?
I was going to do Tech, but I think I'm picking up that I've not picked the one that you wanted to talk about. So go ahead.
You got this rivalry from last year that got reignited with Colorado State.
Oh, damn right.
Yeah. See, that's the one where it's another one of those like Pitt, West Virginia type games, but the hype is there big time this year, solely based on what happened last year. And like, I don't know if it deserves to be game day over LSU South Carolina, but LSU South Carolina certainly doesn't deserve it. And I would have had Colorado State way higher on my list. I'm ready. What time? Do you know what time that game is? Is it opposite
Uh,
ours? It's a night game.
yeah, I think so. Well, ours we're playing at
We're
6,
at
so
6. Yeah.
they
I want.
play at 7:30.
I will be sure to have a second screen on this game
Yeah.
because last year it was Thursday or Friday night, and we were. I remember we were downtown, and no matter what bar we were at, everyone's eyes were watching that game because we all know the hype that Dion brought. Hype. I hate him. I hate him so much. He's just there to promote his boy. He's gonna get fired as soon as Shadur ends up leaving. Colorado
Yeah.
State, they want this bad, and I think they actually get it done this year because it's at Colorado State. I don't know. I
Um,
don't know if they lost anybody. I'm just basing this like solely off of the players they had last year. So I have no idea if they had the same guys, but I know they want it bad.
I I think I agree with you for the most part. I think the want to plus Colorado State being a decent team and distractions galore for Colorado are just going to lead Colorado State to win this game. That's my pick as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be a very
your
fun, chippy
your
matchup. That
your
there's going to be
analysis on that was
ejections.
spot on and everything I would have said. It's just they're ready to
Yeah,
smoke them.
they're ready.
All right,
To
all right. Let's get to our game. Virginia Tech traveling out to the 7-5 to take on ODU for the third time in Norfolk. Virginia Tech 0-2 at Foreman Field / Cornball Field or whatever it's called. No, Foreman Field was what it used to be called. Now it's Cornball Field, but they might as well be Cornball Field because it's freaking ODU. At SB Ballard Stadium, it doesn't matter. That's just what you get when you're a sports nerd and you live 15 minutes from the stadium. Nonetheless, Virginia Tech taking on the Monarchs. It's ODU's Super Bowl. They have Beat Tech plastered all over their website right now. Um, Opinions, predictions, score.
I mean, we talked about it. We want to go in there, and obviously, first thing we want is we want to win. But deep down, we want to smoke them because that's what we should do with this roster. So I really do think I'm looking at Isaac's cat's butt right now, and it's just it's throwing me off. um, I really hope we go in there and Tyler Bowen puts an emphasis on getting Ali the ball in this revenge game and just go out there, throw the ball downfield a lot, run the ball down their throats, and realistically, I'd say if we open up the playbook, I'd say we probably win like 41-13. But this kind of has the feel of another Marshall type score. So if the playbook is not opened up, it's probably around like 38, 13, 14 again. But I mean, we know.
Yeah,
Please throw the
one
ball.
once again, I'm with you on the analysis and the keys and whatnot. Virginia Tech is not going to lose to ODU a third time. Things do not work like that. We are
If
not
if
going
it
to.
were to happen, I want everybody fired immediately.
Yeah, a dead ass. If they lose to
Starting
Virginia
with
Tech,
Wit.
yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I meant to say that earlier. If we lose this game, Whit should close the elevator and just let it sit there like
He's gonna be there probably, right?
yeah,
I'd say
dude.
leave his ass in Norfolk.
Just let him walk through Menchville. Let him
Yo,
walk
that's
through the
messed up.
news and see what happens.
Yo, go put him in downtown Bad News and tell him to find a way out.
Yeah, yeah,
Take his phone.
uh,
No Uber.
yeah, yeah,
You got to go knock
yeah,
on downtown doors and figure it out.
yeah. See if it works out. Um, Virginia Tech's not going to lose. Like you said, we're hoping that they smoke them. They're not going to smoke them. It's just a bad situation by being playing a group of 5 team on the road. Virginia Tech is going to win the game, but it's going to be a final score of 38-17. I do think the offense is going to play a little bit better. They're going to give up a garbage time touchdown as well, like you said. It's going to be a lot. They're going to be up by 4 scores, and then they're going to give up a garbage time touchdown, 38-17. Um, Tech wins. They play well. They get themselves together moving forward into Rutgers week. Um, but it's not a massive blowout like it should be. But nonetheless, we're gonna exercise some demons this weekend. Beating the ODU, and it's not gonna happen again. We're not doing it. Word. In case you guys haven't been keeping up to date on the video game stuff, we've been playing a lot of football on NCAA 25 or college football 25. Finally got through our non-conference or out of division slates into conference play. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you're going to see a lot of graphics content coming out shortly. We're kind of having a lot of fun with it, just kind of playing people, ranking each other, seeing where everybody's going. It's dude, I'd be lying to you if it wasn't like completely up in the air. There's not really a clear favorite. Teams come out of nowhere, they have big games, and then teams that you think are going to be really good and dominant just come out of nowhere and lose. So a lot of upsets, a lot of fun games. It's been fun. You're literally looking at the two people in the league, or the two hosts in the league that don't actually suck. Because ZDG is 0-3. Dude, ZDG is 0-3 with one of the best teams in the game.
Yeah, well, shout out. I beat ZDG last night, or whenever it was, 23-0. He can't convert a fourth down. He sucks. He's awful. I thought he was better than me. Turns out he should just throw the sticks away.
Yeah, dude.
Get out the league. Dude. Hang him up, buddy.
Basically, he's already
out. Gonna smoke him. Like,
basically, he's already out the league because he's 0-3 with Ole Miss.
With Ole Miss, yeah. Come on now,
Collin. I'll take a little bit of credit for Collin being 1-2 like he is. I beat him on a Titanic field goal to beat him in week 2. Made a little edit. That's on Instagram. Yeah, it's just been fun. It's a joke. It's something that's fun to manage and something that's fun just to keep up with. Have some fun. There's it's literally 32 guys trying to beat the shit out of each other on video games. So so besides the point, I hope you guys keep watching. We're going to try to stream as much as possible getting into conference play. But if you tune into Instagram, watch Instagram, you'll see us kind of just kicking each other's tails and having fun and seeing the way that everybody's going to progress through the season. It's fun. Our Discord server, if you want to be part of the Discord server, just like ask, because it's cool, and I'll make you a spectator, and then you can watch us talk crap to each other and
talk bad about MJ Collins.
That didn't happen.
I don't
MJ Collins is a great basketball player, and he's really good at shooting jump shots.
Collins shooting the ball.
Okay, that's gonna wrap us up here. Next time we're back, we're gonna hopefully have the other two dumbasses with us. Colin's sick. CDG's watching the Dolphins
get
destroyed.
Yeah.
CDG's ticked
because hating his life.
Dude, Tua just got knocked out by a ghost. Nonetheless, they'll be back next time around. We'll be in Blacksburg shortly to hang out together. Maybe we can throw something together in the parking lot next Saturday. That'd be fun. But
apparently Tyreek Hill's hurt too. He's on my fantasy team.
Dude, he's so
gone. CDG he's done for.
Man, he might not make it to tomorrow.
Yeah.
I hope they never mind.
He will die tomorrow.
Yeah,
you don't know why, but he will die tomorrow. James, if you watch this, you know why.
Oh man, that's not good. Anyways, Jesus, that's not ominous at all. But anyways, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't. That's basically where everything's going. Even though we said we were going to do something different. Yeah, and thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that extra stuff. Follow us. Follow us individuals on Instagram. Links are in the YouTube description. We'll be back coming shortly from after ODU, looking at Rutgers and then so forth down the season. Basketball season not far along the road. We'll have Big Pat on here sometime shortly once we figure that out with him. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.